Imagine living on an emotional roller coaster, where love feels like fire, rejection feels like death, and your own identity shifts like sand under your feet. That is the reality for millions of people who live with borderline personality disorder, or BPD. Today, we're going to uncover what it really is, the 10 most important traits you need to know, and, most importantly, how to approach it with understanding and hope. Borderline personality disorder is a mental health condition marked by intense emotions, unstable relationships, and difficulties with self-image. People with BPD often feel things more deeply than others, but they also struggle to regulate those feelings. Think of it like a stormy sea. Waves of emotion rise high, crash suddenly, and leave the person fighting to stay afloat. Now let's talk about the 10 key traits of BPD-1. Fear of abandonment. They may desperately cling to relationships, terrified of being left behind. Imagine a child lost in a crowded store. The panic, the desperate search for safety. That's how abandonment feels to someone with BPD, even in small situations like a delayed text reply. 2. Unstable relationships. Intense and stormy. Today, you're their hero. Tomorrow, their enemy. Think of a light switch flicking on and off. The closeness can change instantly, often because of perceived rejection. 3. Unstable sense of self. One day, they may feel confident and strong. The next, they feel like they don't know who they are. It's like looking in a mirror that constantly changes, never being able to pin down your reflection. 4. Impulsive behaviors. This might look like reckless spending, binge eating, unsafe sex, or substance use. Imagine slamming your foot on a car's accelerator without checking the road. Impulsivity can feel thrilling in the moment, but dangerous in the long run. 5. Intense emotions. They may experience extreme mood swings that last hours instead of days. Picture weather that shifts from sunny skies to thunderstorms in minutes. That's what emotions can feel like. 6. Chronic feelings of emptiness. Many describe it as a deep, hollow void inside them. It's like standing in a vast, empty stadium. You can scream, but the echo only reminds you how alone you feel. 7. Explosive anger. Sometimes anger comes out suddenly and intensely, far stronger than the situation seems to require. A tiny spark igniting a forest fire. What looks small to others feels unbearable to them. 8. Paranoia or dissociation. Under stress. They may feel detached from reality or convinced others are against them when stressed, like watching your life through a foggy window, present but not fully connected. 9. Rapid shifts in self-image. They may see themselves as successful one moment, worthless the next. It's like flipping through channels on a TV. You never know what version of yourself will appear next. 10. Self-harming or suicidal behaviors. This is one of the most serious traits. Many with BPD struggle with cutting, burning, or suicidal thoughts. These acts are often desperate cries for relief, not manipulation. They're signals of deep inner pain. How to handle relationships with someone who has BPD. Listen without judgment. Try to understand their emotions instead of dismissing them. Set clear, consistent boundaries. Boundaries bring safety, not rejection. Stay calm during emotional storms. Responding with anger fuels the fire. Encourage professional help. Remind them treatment is available and effective. Offer patience and empathy. Behind the behavior is someone deeply afraid of being unloved. It's crucial to take every act seriously because behind it is deep emotional suffering. Is BPD treatable? Yes. Borderline personality disorder is treatable. One of the most effective treatments is Dialectical Behavior Therapy, DBT. Imagine being caught in a storm of emotions. Waves crashing, winds howling, and no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to steer the ship. Now, imagine being handed a map and a compass. Not a promise that the storm will disappear, but tools to navigate it safely. That's what Dialectical Behavior Therapy, or DBT, is all about. We're going to continue by uncovering what DBT really is, what it treats, and how its life-changing skills can help people find balance, peace, and hope. DBT is a form of cognitive behavioral therapy created by psychologist Marsha Linehan in the late 1980s. It was originally designed to treat borderline personality disorder, a condition marked by emotional intensity, unstable relationships, and self-harming behaviors. But over the years, DBT has proven effective for much more: depression, anxiety, PTSD, eating disorders, and even addiction. Think of DBT as a toolbox. Each tool is designed to help people handle overwhelming emotions, reduce harmful behaviors, and build healthier connections. Why is it called dialectical? Dialectics means holding two seemingly opposite things as true at the same time. For DBT, it's this balance. Acceptance, validating who you are right here, right now. Change, believing you can learn new skills and create a healthier life. Imagine standing on a bridge. One side is acceptance, the other side is change. DBT helps you walk across without falling into extremes. DBT is built around 4 core skill sets, each one a lifeline in emotional storms. 1. Mindfulness. Learning to stay present in the moment instead of being swept away by regrets of the past or fears of the future. Think of mindfulness as an anchor that keeps your ship steady in the storm. 2. Distress tolerance. Skills for surviving emotional crises without making them worse, using strategies like self-soothing, distraction, or radical acceptance, like a life jacket that keeps you afloat until the storm passes. 3. Emotion regulation. Learning to identify, understand, and change intense emotions before they spiral out of control. Imagine having a thermostat for your feelings. You can turn down the heat before it burns you. 4. Interpersonal effectiveness skills for building stronger relationships, setting boundaries, and asking for what you need. Like learning the language of connection, clear communication that strengthens bonds instead of breaking them. DBT has been proven effective for a range of struggles: borderline personality disorder, helping with self-harm, suicidal thoughts, and unstable relationships; depression and anxiety, teaching strategies to manage overwhelming thoughts and feelings; post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, helping survivors regulate emotions triggered by trauma; eating disorders, reducing harmful behaviors and teaching healthier coping; addictions, building tolerance for cravings without giving in. Wherever emotions feel too big, too overwhelming, or too destructive, DBT offers a lifeline. DBT isn't just about learning theory, it's hands-on. It usually combines individual therapy, one-on-one with a therapist; skills groups, like a classroom where you practice the 4 core skills; coaching calls, reaching out to your therapist in real-life crises; homework, practicing skills daily. Think of it as learning to swim. You don't just read about swimming, you practice in the water over and over until it becomes second nature. DBT works because it gives people a structure, a way to pause, reflect, and respond instead of reacting. It doesn't promise a storm-free life, but it does teach you how to build a stronger boat, carry the right tools, and keep sailing even in rough waters. And the most powerful truth: DBT doesn't just change behaviors, it changes lives. Borderline personality disorder is one of the most emotionally intense and misunderstood mental health conditions. We know that dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT, is one of the most effective treatments. But what about medications? Do they help? And can both be used together? We are going to explore how medications are used in BPD, what they can and cannot do, and why the combination of therapy and medication might be the most powerful path to healing. Here's the first truth: There is no single FDA-approved medication specifically for borderline personality disorder. But that doesn't mean medications don't help. Instead, doctors prescribe medications to target specific symptoms that often come with BPD, such as depression, anxiety, mood swings, or impulsivity. Think of it like patching holes in a boat. Medication doesn't rebuild the whole ship, but it can plug the leaks that make it harder to stay afloat. So, what kinds of medications are often prescribed? Antidepressants, SSRIs, SNRIs. These can help reduce depression and anxiety symptoms that often overlap with BPD, like putting on noise-canceling headphones when the background static is too loud. Mood stabilizers, like lithium, lamotrigine, or valproate. These can help calm extreme mood swings and reduce impulsivity. Think of them as a thermostat, keeping emotional heat from getting too high or too low. Antipsychotics, atypical ones like aripiprazole or quetiapine. These are sometimes used for intense anger, paranoia, or stress-related dissociation. Like putting glasses on a blurry lens, they can bring clarity when reality feels distorted. Anti-anxiety medications, occasionally prescribed but with caution, because some can be addictive and worsen impulsivity. Medications aren't a cure for BPD, but they can create enough emotional stability so a person can actually benefit from therapy. While medications target symptoms, DBT targets the root struggles of BPD: emotional regulation, impulsivity, relationships, and identity. DBT teaches 4 skill sets: mindfulness, staying present; distress, tolerance, handling crises without making them worse; emotion, regulation, turning down the emotional heat; interpersonal effectiveness, building healthier relationships. Illustration: if medication is the bandage that stops the bleeding, DBT is the training that teaches you how to heal the wound and prevent new injuries in the future. Can medications and DBT be combined? The answer is yes, and in fact, often the best outcomes come when both are used together. Here's why. Medication can stabilize the storm enough to give someone breathing room. DBT then provides the long-term tools for building emotional resilience and healthier relationships. Picture this. Medication is like giving someone a life jacket in the middle of a storm. It keeps them afloat. DBT, on the other hand, teaches them how to swim, navigate, and eventually sail to calmer waters. Together, they don't just help someone survive, they help them grow, heal, and thrive. There's no single pill for borderline personality disorder, but medications can help manage depression, anxiety, mood swings, and other symptoms. DBT is the gold standard for long-term healing, and when combined, medication and DBT can provide both short-term stability and lifelong tools for recovery. If you or someone you love is navigating BPD, remember this: you are not alone. There is treatment, there is hope, and with the right combination of therapy, support, and, when needed, medication, the storm does not have to define you. Healing is possible. Borderline personality disorder, one of the most intense, painful, and misunderstood mental health conditions. But here's a question many ask: can it be prevented? If BPD is a storm that tears through someone's life, is there a way to build shelter before the storm ever arrives? Let's find out. Is BPD preventable? The short answer is not completely. There is no guaranteed way to prevent borderline personality disorder. Genetics, brain chemistry, and early life experiences all play a role. But here's the good news. We can reduce risk factors, build protective factors, and intervene early. That means while we may not always stop BPD from developing, we can lessen its impact, delay its onset, or prevent the most severe symptoms. Think of it like heart disease. You can't always prevent it, genetics play a role, but with healthy habits, early care, and the right environment, the risks go down dramatically. So, what increases the risk? Genetics. Having family members with mental health conditions may raise risk. Childhood trauma, Abuse, neglect, or unstable environments are strong risk factors. Invalidating environments where a child's emotions are dismissed, ignored, or punished. Chronic stress, repeated instability at home, bullying, or broken attachments. But remember, risk is not destiny. Having risk factors doesn't mean someone will develop BPD. It means we need to pay attention and step in with care. So how do we reduce the risk? Prevention is less about stopping BPD entirely and more about building emotional resilience early on. Healthy parenting and attachment. Children need stable, nurturing caregivers who validate emotions instead of dismissing them. Imagine a child crying. One parent says, "Stop crying, you're overreacting." Another says, "I see you're upset, let's talk about it." The second response builds emotional safety. Teaching emotional skills early. Helping kids name emotions, calm themselves, and solve conflicts teaches lifelong regulation, like teaching a child to ride a bike before handing them a motorcycle. Early therapy for at-risk youth. Cognitive behavioral approaches and DBT-inspired skills can help teens manage emotions before patterns worsen. Safe, stable environments. Minimizing trauma, abuse, or constant upheaval gives children stronger foundations. Prevention isn't about perfection. It's about giving kids the tools to handle life's storms before they turn into hurricanes. What about adults? If someone shows early signs like unstable relationships, intense emotions, or impulsive behaviors, prevention looks like early assessment by mental health professionals, learning DBT skills before symptoms escalate, building strong support systems, friends, mentors, communities who provide validation, reducing substance abuse and other risk behaviors that worsen instability. Think of it like reinforcing a bridge before cracks turn into collapse. Early support strengthens the foundation. So, can borderline personality disorder be prevented? Not completely, but with early intervention, healthy environments, emotional education, and supportive relationships, we can often stop the storm from becoming overwhelming. Prevention isn't about removing every dark cloud. It's about giving people the umbrella, the shelter, and the resilience to stand strong in the rain. If you are a parent, teacher, mentor, or friend, you play a role. Every time you validate someone's feelings, every time you offer stability, every time you listen instead of dismiss, you are planting seeds of prevention. BPD may not be fully preventable, but hope is always possible. And hope, combined with care, can change the story before it's even written. So, what should you remember? Borderline personality disorder isn't a life sentence. It's not manipulation. It's not weakness. It's a condition marked by profound emotional struggle, but also by incredible potential for healing, resilience, and empathy. If you or someone you love is living with BPD, know this: you are not broken beyond repair. There is treatment, there is hope, and there is life beyond the storm.